Greetings from the National Information Dissemination Center. We are pleased to welcome you to the sixth edition of our program, What the Government Says. This 30-minute radio broadcast is dedicated to fostering communication between citizens and their government. This program serves as a vital platform for individuals to hear directly from permanent figures within the executive, legislative, and judicial branches regarding significant issues that affect the well-being of our community. This program is produced by the Association of Liberia Community Radio, ALICO, with support from the Swedish International Development Agency, SIDA. I am your producer, Florence Flomo. On today's edition of the program, What the Government Says, our guest is the Deputy Director from the Liberia Intellectual Property, Mr. Clarence Cole. We are here to discuss the institution working in the country. Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure, and I'm honored to be making my debut in your studio. Wherever we are, I want to take this time to say compliments of the season as we gradually enter the festive week. Again, I'm honored to be on your platform and making my debut on this program.
Good. So talking about LIPO, let's know more about it. What is LIPO?
So LAPO or LIPO is the acronym for the Liberia Intellectual Property Office. That office is the one responsible for the registration and administration of intellectual property work across the country Initially, LAPO or the Liberia Intellectual Property Office before 2016 had two separate extensions. We had the Copyright Office within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and so you found out that in 1997 there was this act, the Copyright Act, and then in 2003 we saw the Industrial Property Act coming into existence, that creating another segment or department with the Ministry of Commerce. And so as you are aware, Liberia is a member state of the United Nations, and there is this special organ of the United Nations called the World Intellectual Property Office, which is WIPO. And so they conducted a program, special initiative that saw the development of the National Intellectual Property Plan, that is the RPDP. And that plan gives rise to a recommendation that says we should have the two departments brought under a single agency, because copyright deals with intellectual property, industrial property also deals with intellectual property. So they both should not be separately apart in different agency or ministry. And so we saw one of the recommendations from the RPDP was the enactment of a national intellectual property law. And so in 2016, the legislature passed the Liberia Intellectual Property Act, thus establishing the Liberia Intellectual Property Office. So the office now is the one responsible for the administration and enforcement of the Liberia Intellectual Property Law. Now, within that office, we have two departments. We have the Department of Copyright and Related Rights, which are head as a deputy director, and then you have the Industrial Property Department, which is also deputized by another deputy director. So then the question is, what do we do in each of those departments, which is the very, very key. What services do we render to the public? So for the Industrial Property Department, that department is responsible for the registration of all industrial property related issues. And so some of those items that are properties that can be registered for us on a patent. Someone say, what is patent? Patent is that protection right for an invention. Take for instance, you develop the idea, or the one who developed the idea of a car.
Okay.
That invention has to be protected. Why? Because it came out of that person's imagination. That's the whole side of intellectual property, creating something that does not exist from your mind, from your intellect. And so because you invested your time, you invested money, and then you invested your creativity, you must be able to reap your reward. And to do that, you must protect that particular creativity or invention. So under industrial property, to protect your invention, you have to have a patent. And so that particular department, industrial property, issue you a patent certificate to protect your invention. Then we have trademark. Trademark has to do with that innovative idea that you develop, wherein you want to distinguish your services or goods from all other person. So we all here selling mobile phone. It's a product, that particular product is on the market that we're selling, right?
Yeah.
But I want to distinguish my phone that I'm selling. So let's take for instance, I'm selling iPhone or I'm selling Samsung. I want to distinguish that my Samsung phone is genuine, is unique, and it has all of the quality and comfort that a person who purchases it will want to get. So not to have people duplicating or selling my Samsung phone without my permission, I must go and protect my trademark. So you come to the Liberian Intellectual Property Office and we are able to protect that trademark. Another common example, let me bring it to our own market space, is what we're seeing right now, the t-shirt, the brand.
Okay.
Like you got Too Easy. Everybody, Too Easy. You got Zig, you internationally, you got Polo, you got NAC, you got like I said. So those are trademarks in clothing. For vehicles, you got Toyota, you got Nissan, you got Honda. Those are trademarks in vehicle. And so you will come to us and then we will be able to protect those services. Once you protect your trademark with us, you protect your brand name with us, no one can market your brand without your permission. That's the work we do there. Then you have what we call industrial design. Industrial design almost comes along with utility models. Those are various designs that you bring. Now, you have to come and protect it. For instance, you may not be the manufacturer of a particular product, but here you are, you want to sell that product in Liberia. So in order to do that, you must firstly have the letter of authorization from the manufacturer designating you as the sole distributor of that particular product on the Liberian market. To do so, you have to come to our office. Now, why are you doing that? You're doing that so that another person, after you have invested so much into that product, and consumers are not going for it, or the people on the market, let me try to bring them more down. The people on the market wants it so much that you saw some kind of juice.
Okay.
And this juice is being made in, let's say for example, Ghana. And then you want to sell it in the Liberian market. And so you brought the juice down. Maybe you have invested so much into it, everyone going for it. The risk there is if you have not come to us for us to protect you as the only one to import it in Liberia and place it on the market, anybody can bring it into the market. And at the end result, you will be at loss.
Okay.
And then more to that, someone could even bring a fake one with similar packaging, and then you will be at loss. So you have to come to the office and then we'll be able to protect you so that you be the only person. Those are the things being done under in the industrial property department. Under copyright, where I head, my own department is where we take care of our creators, the artists, the musicians, the writers, the movie makers, the photographers, the artists, those who do drawing as well. So on a copyright, we say, look, you sat down and you invested your time into making that music. Why would people just be singing your song? Why would people be dancing to your music, but then you don't have anything to gain? because while the song is not protected. So it's important that you come and protect your song, and then we give you that exclusive right so that no one can use your song without your permission. It is within that right that you will be able to collect what we call your royalty. So when you come at the Liberia Intellectual Property Office, for example, as an artist, you come to our office, we ask you for few things in order to protect your work.
Okay.
The first thing we ask you for is 2 original copies of the work, because the song must be yours. That movie must be yours. That picture must be yours. That book, you must be the original author, so you must be able to bring us an original copy. You should also be able to bring forth a proof of your authorship. In addition
What is the authorship?
To show that you are the original author of the work, of the book, of that particular movie or the song that you have come to protect. In addition to that, you bring forth your national ID card, because we want to make sure we know your nationality.
Okay.
And then you fill in a form. And then the next thing is, this is the shocking part about it. All you need to pay is just 10 United States dollars. That 10 United States dollars that you are paying protect your song for your entire lifetime. As long as you are living, your song is protected. And then even when you die, 50 years after your death, your next of kin benefits. The royalties that are being collected on your behalf goes to your next of kin. And so it is very important. As I said on this radio, I would love to reach out to every creators out there, every musician, every artist, every movie maker, that $10 is just nothing. It's important you come and protect your work, because protecting your work brings forth the avenue for you to create wealth for yourself. Now, how do we create the wealth? We have a unit within the copyright department that is responsible for the royalties collection. Royalties collection meaning we issue lessons on behalf of you, a blanket lesson, because right now, you as an artist will not have the time. You do not even have the means to go to all of the entertainment center, all those who using your work.
I was
just about to ask, right?
What do you think again?
Yeah, so it's where the benefit comes in, the aspect of the royalty collection. And so we issue what we call a blanket lesson. A blanket lesson comes in to play with that wheresoever your work is being used or played, people should be able to have the permission. And so there is an institution or an organization that is responsible for that particular exercise. In Liberia, we call them the Copyright Society of Liberia. Okay. It is the collective management organization. Around the world, that's the name they give it, CMO, Collective Management Organization. So our CMO is the Copyright Society of Liberia, which is COSO. Now, when you come to protect your work, we ask you, do you want COSO, that is the Copyright Society of Liberia, to collect your royalties on your behalf? Now, if you say yes, we'll give you a form for you to fill in. Becoming a member of COSO is absolutely free. You don't have to pay any money. You just need to fill in the form, and then that authorization is given the unit or the CMO to go about collecting your royalties. Just the gone September, we were able to reach out to over 200 artists in the tune of 2.5 million.
In Liberia?
Welfare distribution.
Okay.
And we were able to reach out to them. Why? Because they are members. Now, when we did that, some artists started coming. Why is it my name was not mentioned? Then we asked them, are you a member of the Copyright Society of Liberia? Obviously not. Okay, so can you take the form now? And so it's important for the artists themselves to understand how they can go about generating the wealth from their creation. I've always said this when I meet their unions heads, and I say this to them and to all those within the creative sector. If you see creativity as entertainment, then keep making music. Keep begging DJs to play your song. Keep begging radio stations to play your song. But if you see it as a business, then follow the legal procedure. Protect your work. Join the corporate society, and let us help you so that you can generate wealth for yourself. So those are the work that we do at the Liberia Intellectual Property Office. Like you rightly stated, we are there to advocate, because that's the work of the government, to ensure that the citizens' well-being are taken care of. And in our own statutory mandate, without the creators, there will be no copyright department. There will be no if section of the intellectual property office will be crippled. Without the SMEs, that is the small medium entrepreneurs, without them, one way or another, the industrial property section will also have some challenges. So we are here because of them. And so what we've been doing is to ensure that one of the major challenges that the office faces is the issue of lack of awareness. People are not informed. Our predecessors did well. They did what they could do with the challenges they had. Now it's our own time. And in the words of the Director General, it is our time to pick it up and run with it. And that's why consistently this administration has engaged into awareness. We just completed our 3 months nation tour with awareness. We were in Nimba County. We went as far as Sanikode. We were in Bong. We passed through Magibi, and then we climaxed with Mosorado on Tuesday, creating awareness on the importance of respecting intellectual property and protecting your work, because it is from that protection that you can gain wealth. Now, when it comes to how the public have received the message, I think it's resonating. Today, even the media is getting interested into intellectual property. I may be corrected, but I believe this is the first time you're having people from the Liberia Intellectual Property Office sitting on your platform and reaching out to the public. Even if it has been, but this is our own time, and we want to reach out to as many persons as we can, because the more people are aware, the more interest they create. Another thing we have done, in addition to the awareness campaign, is to ensure that even the students are engaged into building respect for RP. So we launched the Intellectual Property Club. We saw 5 schools participating, 4 private and a public school. You had the TNR, William Totman High School participating. You had the Marietta Preparatory School participating. You have Abrex, you have Puritan Academy, and you have St. Teresa Convent also participating. That particular project was implemented on the basis that students need to understand the importance of RP, because they are in the cradle. Now, once the young people can grab it and run with it, when they graduate, they develop interest. Some will even want to get a bachelor degree in it, something that we're also working on to introduce RP into the university curriculum, so that we can offer a course in it and have more people having knowledge about intellectual property. And just to close up on the RP club, we conducted the national competition, and then the William V.S. Totman High School came as the winner, and they won the prize of 1,000 United States dollars, which is equivalent to over 195,000. And in addition to that, they are on their way to Zimbabwe to represent Liberia for the first time in the regional intellectual property club competition, going against Zimbabwe, Malawi, and that of Tanzania. And we hope that Liberia can come back with the flag for the first time. Yeah, so those are things we're doing at the office, aim at creating more awareness.
A lot of people want to hear intellectual property. They think about maybe you had to be intelligent, you had to be intellectual and all that stuff. So talking about the national competition among the students, what was the main focus?
Intellectual property has to do with whatsoever you create from your intellect, your imagination, and you be able to bring it into reality. Again, it's not about your expression. It's not about your thought or your idea. It must be expressed. Like we say on a copyright, we protect that expressed thought. You may think and say, I want to read a book. That is a thought. Once you have not written that book, we cannot protect that thought that you have. You have to express that thought into a tangible form, then it gets protected. Then it becomes your intellectual property. Speaking of the RP Club, the project was directly on a copyright. It's a copyright related project. And the reason we went for the students is because we believe that at the cradle, if you understand, if you go down to the students' populace, the young people, you find out that there are brilliant students there. There are people who are creative, like during the competition, we saw an artist. In less than 24 hours, that young man from William Stodman was able to draw the Director General. He drew me. He drew the Minister of Education, the Minister of Commerce, and it was so exciting. You have young people, students who want to get involved into music. But then when they look...
So basically it was your department.
It was copyright. It is a copyright project. Okay. And what is good about it is that right after our first report, through the powerful might, and I will say this again, she knows how to work her way through. We were able to get the partners' approval for the 2025 project. So again, 2025, we're going to expand the RP clubs beyond so that most schools, as they have expressed interest, can have the opportunity to know what is RP.
So would that include the decentralization?
Of course, we're looking forward to stepping out of Muscle Rider because Liberia is now in the Muscle Rider. There are young and brilliant students in Nimba, in Maryland, in Sino, as far as in Lofa, in Margibi, we have them there, in Granchi there. So RP is for everyone. Like we always say, RP is everybody's business. So it's not only restricted to Masorado County. And that's why we continue to call on our stakeholders, like the legislature. Right now, the budget is before them. If we must 2 days, we need the budgetary support. Yes, our partners will watch our back, but we need to watch our stomach.
If you're just joining us, this is a reminder that you're listening to What the Government Says, a weekly 30-minute radio program produced by Aliko with support from SIDA. At this point, we'll take a short break and return shortly. Welcome back to What the Government Says. Since the establishment of the Lipo Act in Liberia 2018, what are the different infringement copyrights issues that you've been able to handle, and how has that been able to improve the issue of avoiding copyright issues?
So I will not sit on this platform and tell you that, oh yes, we are 100% effective when it comes to enforcement, because it's where you're going. There are challenges for the enforcement, but those challenges are being worked on. Piracy is everywhere, yes, it's before our eyes, but again, it's not about just rushing and handling it. And that's the reason why this administration is ensuring that we do it step by step. We have done the awareness. As we speak to you, we are in the process of signing a memorandum with the Liberia National Police, wherein 1,000 officers will be trained into RP enforcement. Once that is done, trust me, we are going to be very robust, and I think that will be effective. So I can safely say to you that enforcement and clamping down on piracy and copyright infringement is something that the office takes seriously, and we will not, I repeat, we will not condone such thing happening. Trust me, we are about to clamp down on them.
How is the institution combating the issue of new technology? You got the intervention of the artificial intelligence and other um, technologies that have been invented so far. So how is that being used?
All right. So as well
Daily?
as we speak, and it also goes again to what we were saying, right? There are two key things there to look at keenly. One has to do with the issue of enforcement, and next one has to do with capacity building of even the creators. Now you got an artist who wants just to see a song on audio back.
Okay.
He wants to brag about, oh, the highest download comes from me. My son is the most played on audio mark, but have you asked yourself, how are you getting benefit from it? As the technological war advances, criminals are also using ignorance as a means of leveraging on and moving forward. And so, like you hear me stating, right now as we speak, the head of the CMO and my assistant is currently in Zimbabwe. They are undergoing a training, and so we're still building the capacity. And right after that, with our support, we are going to ensure that we can counter that. But AI is not only unique to Liberia. The advancement of technology is a major conversation right now in RP, not only with copyright, but even with the industrial property. And so there are new conversation around that, and we are all looking forward to see how best we can counter it. But again, like one of the classes we were in, it's obvious that AI is here, and we must accept that it is here to stay. So we got to adjust and see how best we can counter and make it a safe space for everyone.
Do you think that it's been able so far to improve the work of some other artists and even let's talk about the populace as a whole? How you think it's contributing to the work of these people?
I was on a platform and I said to my host, and I told her that, look, imagine years ago you had to use manuscript, or what we call, not the pen that you're using.
Yeah.
So we transform and came to using pen and
Okay.
ink. And then we transform now. I can't remember the last time I wrote 50 pages with my hand. But I will tell you, just this morning, I completed almost 75 pages document on my laptop using my keyboard. So you're seeing the transformation that is going. So AI is here to stay. But again, you need to understand that AI doesn't work without humans. It is what you put in, and then AI brings back to you. So the conversation is, if I am, for example, importing a graphics and then or a music, and if you ask AI to develop this music, you have to give the prompt. And then you put out of the prompt there. That song that is being made by AI based upon the prompt. Who owns the authorship of that music? It says you, as the human who have instructed the artificial intelligence to develop that particular music. And so, like I said, it's an evolving topic, and so we all are having a conversation around it. If you ask me, I will tell you that the person who gave the prompt, for example, if you were the one who instructed AI with that specific prompt, you should own the authorship of that particular work. But again, I will not sit there and conclude on it, because we still have experts giving their views on it, because AI itself is an invention. Remember I told you there's an invention being protected by someone. So then the question remains, does the person who invented AI has a right in the music? If so, which type of right? Is it related right, or it is the original copyright?
Well, Clarence Cole, thank you for coming to share the idea of the intellectual properties in Liberia. Is there any other thing you want to talk about before we call this a day?
I would love to say again, let us understand that RP is everyone's business, and as the budget is before the national legislature, we are appealing to our lawmakers. Please, please, please do your utmost best to support the workings of the RP office. Yes, that office has been there. Some will see it like it is too small, but our tax is huge. Imagine if we had to take everything into consideration. Your clothes you wear is RP, the food you eat is RP, the services you receive are all under RP. Even the entertainment that you enjoy, first under RP. And here is an office that is understaffed, logistic wise. We don't even have a logistic pickup to move on to do enforcement. So we want you to look in there. Let's do our best and see how best we can augment the budgetary allotment. And what is so unique, as I conclude, as the budget is before you, we are not just a spending entity, we are raising revenue for government. And so in the registration process of those RP assets is where government generates revenue. Imagine if we are so much effective, how much revenue we are going to raise for government. So let us look in that direction. I want to say again, thank you so much for affording us the opportunity, and to our Liberian citizens who are listening. Thank you for listening. Remember that RP is everywhere and RP is for everyone.
Seeking for budget increment. What has been the previous amount of money you're receiving from government?
So it has been very, very minimum, very minimum. The office has never in its period of time, I stand to be corrected, received even over 200,000. No, I remember the recast budget that we met to work in. Imagine 4,000 for operation. 4,000.
4,000 yearly.
But I mean, so that office should have more than even 4 to 5 people for logistics. Like you talk about enforcement, how do we go out there to clamp down on people who will be working? Yeah, and like the director vision is to have sub offices in, especially those counties of entry like Nima, Maryland, so that we can have our officers along with the custom officer looking for RP related items. So it comes with a lot we can do. But again, we need some funding. And I think that this time around, there will be some level of increment by the legislature.
As we conclude today's edition of What the Government Says, we reiterate our commitment to connecting citizens with their government. This program enables listeners to engage with key governmental figures on critical community issues. For further information, please visit our website at www.associationofliberiacommunityradio.org and follow us on our YouTube and Facebook pages, Alico TV Liberia. On behalf of the production team, I extend our gratitude for your listenership. We invite you to join us next week at the same time on this station for another enlightening edition of the program What the Government Says. My name is Florence Flomo. I'm wishing you a very good day.